Welcome to Sage Audio. Today, let's look at the top 13 Lo-Fi plugins. But first, if you have a mix that you need mastered, send it to us to receive a free mastered sample of it with the link in the description. Fazoo by Aloe Lantern. For this video, we're going to take a look at both lo-fi effects and lo-fi instruments, starting with the effects. Fazoo by Aloe Lantern is a great distortion plugin tailored towards low-frequency instruments. Now, although I couldn't find info on some of the exact functions of the dials, tightness is likely the ADSR of the distortion. We also have two distortion types in the middle, and I believe a resonance filter. Sparkle is an exciter or high-frequency distorter, and of course the output affects the final level. Let's take a listen to the effect. Terabaya and Teratube Distortion by Samoa Lab. In this chapter, we're going to cover two plugins. Terabaya is more of a digital-sounding distortion that introduces clipping and some digital artifacts. Teratube offers a vintage sound and emulates various instances of a signal being run through a saturated tube, which can be saturated more with the gain-in dial. Now, both are pretty straightforward, and just take a little altering to get the right sound. For both, I'd avoid selecting the mono function since I think this still needs to be patched. Let's take a listen to both, starting with a clean signal, then with Terabaya, followed by Teratube. If you're enjoying the video, hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. It's free and it helps us bring you more videos. Emergence by Daniel Gurgley. Emergence is my personal favorite on this list, and it makes a great creative effect. It's a granular effect plugin, meaning it introduces unique modulation to the signal by duplicating it into multiple instances, allowing you to change its pitch, its length, forward or backward play, and more. Now, the granular aspect is probably the most important, since it starts and stops playing the signal at various points, depending on the buffer size, amount of feedback, max grain count, and more. Now, I'm probably not doing the best job at explaining this, so let's just take a listen to it and introduce streams 1, 2, and 3, as well as some frequency modulation with the LFO. Lost Tapes by Superfly DSP. Lost Tapes is everything that you'll need from a lo-fi tape emulation. It lets you introduce 4 different types of tape emulation, from broken to new, with Lost Tape being my personal favorite, and then introduce noise, tape saturation, frequency and time modulation, as well as tape artifacts. I also like that I can quickly make the effect mono or stereo, which is great for both monitoring and creating some variation with the effect. Let's take a listen to it. Crush by Tritech Audio. Crush is a great digital distortion plugin that introduces both bit depth and sample rate reduction distortion, as well as traditional drive distortion, filtering with optional resonance boosts, and modulation. In the modulation section, you can determine the oscillation rate, wave type, and to what extent it's going to affect the various parameters. It's also impressive that you can link a MIDI controller to the effect, which would be great for live performances or if you prefer to automate your effects. Let's take a listen to it. Tape Cassette 2 by Calum Audio. Tape Cassette 2 offers what you'd want from a lo-fi tape emulation with a saturation or drive dial, a low-pass filter, variable noise floor, as well as frequency and time modulation. What makes this plugin special though is the optional impulse response of a cassette tape. Now when it's engaged, the IR function is going to alter the frequency response and subtly change the ADSR of the signal, making the emulation a lot more realistic. I only wish that it had an output dial, but other than that, this is a fantastic plugin. Let's take a listen. Lo-Fi by Audiolatry. Next up, let's move on to the Lo-Fi instruments, starting with Lo-Fi, a sample-based instrument that lets you process various bass, keys, string, voices, and woodwind packs. Now from there we can change the attack, release, pan, reverb, and tuning, while adding up to 4 layers of Lo-Fi artifacts. In the middle we can introduce modulation and change the waveform, how our MIDI controller or MIDI data controls the function, and what's actually being modulated. Lastly, we could introduce a low or high-pass filter. Let's take a listen and notice how when the various elements are engaged, we achieve a distinctive lo-fi sound. If you're enjoying the channel, use the search box to watch more of our videos. Excite Snare Drum by Chair. I debated adding this one since the plugin itself isn't lo-fi, but I could definitely see how it could be really helpful on a lo-fi session. In short, it's a drum synth that models the various physical characteristics of a snare drum being struck. We can control how hard the snare is hit, the surface of the drumstick, if the stick is resting on the rim, the drumhead tuning, tension of the snare beads on the bottom of the skin, and the angle of the hit. I see this working really well when blended in with another snare to add complexity or a unique sound. Let's take a listen as we cycle through the various settings. Lo-Fi 2 by Quiet Music. With Lo-Fi 2, we're greeted with this cool start screen and artwork. In the middle, we can see our velocity curve, voice mode, filter types, and modulation settings, as well as presets. Now these presets let us switch between pads, keys, basses, drums, and ambient noises. We could introduce modulation and tuning to the instrument on the left side, as well as note glide, frequency cutoff, and reverb on the right. On the bottom, we have AR low and high, which I wasn't able to discern what they did. Then we have our ADSR, and lastly the volume. Let's take a listen to a few of the pads and the keys that the instrument offers, and then switch over to checking out the drum options. Cassette 606, 808, and 909 by BPB. Last up, let's cover 3 great instruments by Bedroom Producer's blog, all of which use samples of cassette-saturated drums. The top dial controls the level of the sample, while the bottom controls the sustain or length of the sample. Now up top, we can switch between 3 sample sets based on saturation levels. Each version operates the same way, but some include more samples than others. Let's take a listen to all 3, and know that the demo isn't going to be too musical since we're just going to cycle through the 3 kits. If you have a mix that you need mastered, send it to us to receive a free mastered sample of it with the link in the description. Thank you so much for watching.